Have you ever dreamed about quitting your job and making more money than you ever thought possible? Let me tell you how I went from working long hours in an office to making $64,000 in sales in just my second month selling on Amazon. And no, I'm not a genius. I just had one thing clear. I wanted to change my life. And what you're about to hear is not some made up story, is exactly what I did, step by step. So if you dream of financial freedom and being your own boss, stick around because I'm going to share with you everything. Just a year ago today, I was stuck in an office job working from 9 to 5 every single day. Honestly, I hated every single second of it. The worst part, when I asked my boss for a promotion. I had worked hard and I felt ready, but he simply said, "You're not ready yet." That day, something inside of me shifted. I realized I was putting my whole life into a job that was never going to give me what I truly wanted. Time for myself and for my family and the freedom to build something of my own. That's when I spoke with my friend Max. He had been selling on Amazon for a while at a small scale compared to where he's at now. He told me about the business model, and to me this sounded like a business that anybody could do. Was I scared? Fuck yeah. But I also knew one thing. I didn't want to stay trapped in that routine. If I wasn't going to make the change, no one was going to do it for me. So the first thing I did was open my Amazon seller account. Not gonna lie, at first I was completely lost. There were so many things to learn, so many steps. But instead of getting overwhelmed, I decided to focus on the basics. I started learning how to find products. I spent hours researching. I would come tired from work, eat, take a 30-minute power nap, wake up and drink coffee, and just source for products until 3 a.m. On the weekends, I would go hit up retail stores and buy the products there. I tried 10 different tools and they all weren't good except for Keepa and SellerAmp. From that beginning process, I did $1,200 in sales for my first week. To me, this was not a ton of money where I could quit my job, retire my parents, or buy my dream car, but it was a sign that this shit works. I ended up giving it my full time and attention. One thing I understood very fast is the more products you buy, the more money you make. So the more money you have, the faster you become rich. So I applied for different credit cards and got approved for over $90,000 on 0% interest introductory credit cards. These are promotions that credit card companies run in which they offer you a credit card that has 0% interest for whatever time they choose. These different credit cards that I got approved for had 0% interest for at least a year, some of them even almost for 2 years. So with any business you want to get involved in, you want to set it up in a way where it works on its own, because if not, you're going to be working until you die. Meaning to learn how to delegate. And to delegate is to entrust a task or responsibility to another person, typically one who is less senior than oneself. That's from fucking Google, by the way. I cannot make that shit up. The very first part of my store that I delegated was the prepping and shipping out to Amazon, because that was honestly taking hours of my day almost every day. That's time I could have been using to find more products and buy more products. So I ended up partnering up with a prep center that's in a sales tax-free state in Montana, and was shipping out all the products that I was buying from one website over there to their location, and they would just charge me a cost per unit. And when I would go into the retail stores, I would just drop them off at a prep center located in Miami. Fast forward to now, I have my own 14,000 square foot warehouse up in New Hampshire, which is also a sales tax-free state, and I also provide my own prepping service for other Amazon sellers. So if you're thinking about or currently working on getting a prep center, then definitely connect with us at ultimateprepcenter.com. After days of looking for products and buying products, all the hours and work compounded, and this is where the magic happened. This was in May 2023, and a lot of the products started checking into Amazon's fulfillment center. And out of nowhere, I hit my first 1K day. Then some days started passing by, and I hit my first 5K day, which was like, oh shit. I remember earlier that day, it was 12 p.m. and I was already at 3K for the day. I looked around at my coworkers and I just knew it was only a matter of time for me to quit my job. I just kept looking for more products and repricing, making sure that all my product listings were priced competitively for me to be able to sell at a better rate, both better and higher profits, and faster. Because you have to keep in mind that there are other third-party sellers that you have to compete against. In some cases, you even compete against Amazon on the same listings. But when you know what you're doing, you're able to get sales over them, which is called repricing. May 31st, 2024 hit, and I ended the month at $64,000 and knew that my time to quit my job was coming soon. And by soon, I mean literally a week later. Long story short, I was overworking a lot and went to the hospital. And at the hospital, I was diagnosed with pre-stroke conditions and ended up not working the next day. The next day at my house, I spent $6,300 on products. At the time was something over $2,000 in profit. That was almost half my salary. After that day, I realized that I was actually losing money by working at my job because I wouldn't have been able to spend the money that I had while I was working. So within 3 months, I was able to not need to work a full-time job. And on that third month, I became a six-figure seller on Amazon, meaning I did over $100,000 in sales. Not bad for a startup, but it wasn't magic. It was about learning, trying, and never stopping. And if I could do it, believe me, you can do it too. All right, guys, this wasn't easy, but it wasn't impossible either. Even though I took a lot of risk, I wasn't bringing a brand new medicine, a brand new drug, a brand new product into the market. There are some key lessons that I want to share with you. Delegate as soon as possible on tasks that are not bringing you more money. If you know what you're doing and have access to capital like credit, then you could fast forward the process. Use the right tools like Keepa and SellerAmp. There's a lot of people that start nowadays and they want to go ahead and buy all the tools out there. A lot of them do the same exact shit that all the other ones do as well. Just stick to one and just make it work, because that's not even the most important part. The most important part is actually finding and buying the products. Another thing is be consistent. Not everything will be perfect from the beginning, but every small step gets you closer to your goals. A lot of people believe that big wins equal you getting rich. No, a big win is really just a lot of small wins compounded over time for you to believe it's a big win, when in reality, you were working your ass off the whole time. Now, if you're watching this video, it's because you have the desire to change. Let me tell you something. The hardest part is starting. But once you take that first step, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Now, if you're wondering, how do I get started? I've created a free training where I go over Amazon FBA and how you can get started today. The link is in the description. Click it and start your journey. You can also join our community where Max and I guide beginners like you, people who are ready to transform their lives. At the end of the day, everybody has their own journey. It's a matter of understanding what the plan will be for yours. Anything is doable, just go and do it.